Welcome to Coming Inside Out. I'm Brian James.
Hi, guys, and maybe girls.
And girls, sure.
And non-whatever.
Yes. What's that? Non-binary?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I'm John Derler. Thank you for listening.
Yes. So, John, I want to start off. We were going to have a guest on this recording.
Well, actually,
but John
yeah,
got bit by a freaking spider.
I did.
So tell us about that, John. This is why we don't have a guest on today.
Exactly. No, seriously, I got bit by a spider. I killed the spider in my house. You know, it's hot here in LA, and spiders like cool. So they get out of the hot, they come inside. Well, they came in, and this one bit me aggressively. And I mean, I slapped it away, and then it just itched, for a while the day after. But then it just got huge. It just started to grow, 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 grow. And believe it or not, every time I would fart, a spider web would come out of my butt. It was crazy. And then I'd sneeze, and another spider web would come out. But when I tried to throw my hand like Spider-Man does, nothing.
Did it work?
No, it was all just wrong for me. It was, however, so I'm not Spider-Man. I don't know. I'm Spider Web dude that
Did you
sneezes.
Go to the emergency room because you were farting spider webs?
Yeah, so I go.
Exactly. Did you go because you have an infection?
They go, why don't these spider webs in your underwear? Sorry guys, don't mean to gross you out. But anyway, yeah, no, I totally got bit, and then I went to the emergency room. First I went to urgent care. Okay. Urgent care said, okay, not a problem. We're going to give you 2 shots, and then we'll give you medication for 7 days.
So this is not a typical spider.
This was not a black. This was an aggressive, mean,
aggressive spider.
Republican spider, and it didn't like me. Didn't like the gays. So they sent this spider from Texas, yes. I think.
Yes. Or you brought it home in your luggage.
Maybe I did.
There. Oh, you probably did.
I knew a guy who died from a brown recluse spider.
Yes.
And that's why I didn't mess around with it. I went to urgent care. He said, look, 3 days, it'll be fine. Or 2 days. 2 days passed. It was getting worse. I go back. He's like, ooh. When the doctor goes, ooh.
Yeah.
He goes, you know what? Go to the emergency room. There's nothing I can do here. They need to see if there's pus in there, and they'll do what they did. So
culture or whatever.
I go over. Shout out to Burbank, St. Joseph's.
Yes.
Yeah. Went over there because he said, go there. Don't go to Cedars. You'll wait 8 hours at Cedars. Go over to Burbank. So ran over there, guys. And they were so nice. They took, care of it. And they came in. They said, yeah, we're going to start you on another medication. So they did that. And they go, it'll be ready in 2 days or better in 2 days. Nope. It got worse. And so they did an ultrasound on it on the first time. And there was no fluid inside. So she goes, it's fine. There's not fluid because we would have to lance it. Well, 3 days after that, it was worse. And so I went back, and that was going to be Sunday.
Yeah.
That we were going to have, was it Mike?
No, his name is Mark.
Mark. I knew it was an
yes. We're going to reschedule him.
We'll get Mark back, but I had to cancel. Mark, I apologize. And but anyway, I went back, and they gave me. They took the culture. They had to take a piece out of it, and then they sent it off. And they said, yeah, this type is crazy. So they took the culture, and they say, well, maybe the antibiotics that you're taking does not combat this bacteria. So then they did the culture. And they said, we need to put you on this other medication.
And taking that antibiotic that they prescribed you has nothing to do with the fact that you're taking an antibiotic. What's that called? Prep?
Well, you know what? I think it's the same stuff. Like if you get syphilis or gonorrhea or something like that, they put you on this medication.
Okay. Oh, so you build up an immune?
Well, exactly. Now, see, that was, did I tell you about that?
No.
Because the medications were not taken, and I've taken other medications before because of syphilis, gonorrhea. You can build up an immune to some of the medication. Yeah. But I told when I got to their, to the doctor, because I wanted them to know everything. And, they go, okay, so, how is it feeling? I'm a homosexual. So they ask me, well, where is this? I'm a homosexual. And here's my question. But you talk about empowerment, though, to be honest, be truthful,
Yes.
and no more shame, because cut to 7 years ago or 8 years ago, and if I was acting out and doing what I'm doing, what have I told them that? And so it was empowering and powerful to just, even though it came out at, they didn't even ask, and it wasn't even pertaining. I go, first of all, I'm a homosexual. And so I have a question. I've been taking these other medications before. Does that,
Yes.
not,
If I'm a gay father of Los Angeles, do I build up an immunity to these antibiotics?
So, they gave it, and now it's getting much better.
All right, you're on the mend.
I am.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I thought we would start off the episode by reading a couple emails from our listeners.
Why don't you, since I've been yammering the whole time?
I was going to read, I gave you all of them.
Oh, you did?
Well, there's 3. I gave you 3 of them.
Well, you want me to just read out the first one?
Yeah. Well, and so real quick, in addition to the emails that we get, we have a lot of friend support. We have a lot of our friends. You see the text messages that we get. We're in group messages.
Yeah. This is
our guys in our group are reaching out.
Gay fathers?
Gay fathers?
Of LA? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, just, there's a gentleman by the name of Howard. He's very supportive of our podcast.
Hey, Howard, because we know you listen, so thank you. And you do comment, so thank you for that.
He sent us messages. Well, in addition to these emails that we get, we have some Facebook messages. We have text messages that we're getting, but I gave you the ones that came in off the internet and the email.
Okay. All right.
And I deleted the names so that John would not be tempted to read your name online.
Well, first of all, I do not know how to read. Okay. Let's see. The show. This is one email, right?
Yes.
This is the email. Watch the podcast release today. Good show. I totally understand the feeling of being lonely. Even though there are people around and I get to spend time with my son and even my wife, that intimate emotional connection is missing. We are separated and are friends. Divorce is expensive, so that hasn't happened yet. But being connected to a person on that deep level is missing in my life as well. Thank you for sharing how you feel. I would love to go to dinner with you, but alas, I live in another state. There will be that person for you, because this is for you, Brian.
Oh, this one's for me.
This one's for you.
So I was crying about being lonely.
Yeah. And so there will be a person for you. Can't wait to see you guys have a guest on the show. Keep up the good work. That was sweet. So yes, that was that our last podcast you had talked about?
I think
being
so.
lonely.
Well, no, the last podcast
was that every
we talked
podcast?
about little violin. I talked about being lonely all the time. Yeah. Our last one was we talked about STDs. We talked about stuff like that.
Has that been dropped yet?
Everything's dropped.
Okay.
Yes. We've done 10 plus a trailer.
This is great.
So this is number 11.
Wow.
So yes, that.
Well, that was really good, and it is, and you do get lonely, and it's true, I mean, I was at my son's basketball game today, and one of the mothers, she goes, it was her birthday. She goes, well, we went to the Abbey. I'm like, oh my God. I go, my son's the boys have even been to the Abbey. She goes, what? What were they there for? I go, oh, my coming out party. She's like, what? What do you mean? I go, well, I'm gay. Oh my God, I had no idea. Because,
now you have a new best girlfriend.
Well, oh my God, I know. She was
knocking them shopping with her.
She was knocking them back at the Abbey, and then she was talking about the Go-Go Boys that look good there, and she goes, my God. I go, well, the reason why you got fucked up is because they heavy pour those drinks.
Well, and all over social media, they talk about people getting roofied there, Mickey'd there, whatever you call it.
Oh, yeah. I wanted that to happen to me so many times, but it hasn't. I don't know why they're not doing it.
Maybe the spider was trying to roofie you. He wanted to get in your pants.
He was already in my pants. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, so well. Anyway, she asked me. She goes, "Well, do you have somebody right now?" I'm like, you know what? I don't. I have my fun, but I also had short stints of dating, which I like. But I do. I mean, it would be nice to find someone that I can connect with. But I just haven't found that. I know it's out there. I do know it's out there.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So that would be nice. Would you like me to?
Do you want to do that one?
Yeah. Well, we talked about this in one of our podcasts about the Velvet Rage, the book by Alan Downs.
Well, I was going to show them.
Or Dr. Alan Downs, because he's a PhD. You know how they get when you don't say doctor. But here,
and if you're watching the podcast,
if you're watching, it's called The Velvet Rage.
Mine's a little.
Well, your pages are stuck together too. I don't know why there's no pictures. But no, there's no pictures.
I read that book. I saw in 2020. I bought that book. That was the first book I bought when I came out. I read that book probably 4 or 5 times.
See, I've only read it once and I forgot a lot. I have to read it. But look, let's look at what you highlighted.
Oh, whoa.
Meaningful life change comes from mindful practice.
Yes.
That's good. They talk about what 3 phases.
Here's the 3 phases.
Go through. Yeah, the 3 phases is.
Well, here's the guy that wrote in.
He goes, "Oh, that's somebody wrote us."
This was on YouTube.
A listener, YouTube listener. Thank you for writing this in, YouTube listener. Let me read it to you guys. I'm reading The Velvet Rage by gay psychotherapist Alan Downs. It's great. I highly recommend it. Did you guys read it? He writes about 3 stages gay men go through. So, guys, I did read this. So did Brian.
Yes.
And so did this YouTube listener.
And these are the 3 stages.
Yeah, the 3 stages are overwhelmed by shame.
That was me for 2.5. Well, that was me my entire marriage. Probably my entire childhood.
My entire life.
That's true.
I mean,
up until about 2 years ago, I would say.
Can I jump in? Let me ask you this. Because this woman asked me this today. She goes, "Did you know? Did you know?" I don't think I knew.
I know you said you didn't know,
right?
But we'll go back to the circle jerks.
Oh,
we'll go back.
Okay. Yeah.
All these other things you did.
Yeah.
When you were a teenager, but you didn't know.
Right. And since you read it 4 times and I've read it once, did he talk about completely blocking that out in your life, to completely suppress it so much that you don't believe it or you just ignore it? Did he talk about that?
I think that's a lot of people suppress it to such a level that they pretend it doesn't exist in their life.
Right.
But then they act out in so many other ways. That's a lot of that going on. So there's a lot of suppression.
It is.
In this.
It is.
So number 1, I definitely overwhelmed by shame. That was me.
Mm-hmm. And he talks about in here that the first stage is where a high amount of suicide comes into play. Yes. Which is it's important because, gentlemen, we don't really have anyone when you're going through this, or if you're listening to this and you haven't even come out to anybody but just yourself. There's so much help out here that you can get, and you're not alone, brothers. Yeah. You're not alone.
And it doesn't all have to cost a lot of money. I did therapy, I did coaching. I think we both spent a good amount of money on I went to some men's retreats that I did, but there's YouTube, there's books, there's podcasts, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can tap into if you don't have the money to go see a therapist.
Right. Right. And if you want to write into us.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, if you want to write in and, write in. Or
John will be your therapist.
I'll be your therapist.
Yes.
Totally. I won't be a therapist, but I tell you what, I'll be a friend.
Yes, me too.
And that's what we need.
Yes.
We definitely need that.
Yes.
What's the second?
Number 2, overcompensating for shame. That resonated with me big time in this book. I always overcompensated. I worked my ass off. I did anything and everything I could to prove myself because I was overwhelmed by my shame. And now that I don't feel that way anymore, I'm kind of lazy.
You know what? I get that, though. I get that. I think I overcompensated, and this could be a combination of things. I overcompensated with humor. Okay. But I think I overcompensated. Humor came into play because of my weight. I think that's my theory. And then overcompensating for being gay was being a bully. Remember we talked about that? Yes. I mean, I was bullied. I had my ass kicked all the time. It wasn't from my brother. It was from his friends. We talked about that too, right?
Yes. And I got my ass kicked by my brother too, but I was bullied by other kids. And I bullied. I'm not proud of that, but I did do that. So that was part of masking, but it also talks about anger. Yes. Because the anger that you have I think that's in the first phase or second, is about the rage, the velvet rage that you have. Well, it's from the suppression.
So you overcompensated by doing what?
I overcompensated at work. I overcompensated in a lot of ways when I was married. And I don't mean to say I'm lazy today. I feel like I'm so tired. For so many years, I put up such a huge front to be the person that I thought I needed to be, that I was tired from it. And now that I no longer have to be that person because I don't have the shame associated with who I am anymore, I don't know. I feel like I'm taking a break.
I get it. I get it. You know, you dive into the work and you just work and you do that. And, you know, if you're acting out or just exploring. Well,
I had something to prove because I had a secret.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? I get that.
Yeah.
What's number 3?
Number 3, cultivating authenticity. That's my entire existence today.
Break it down for me.
My relationships today. I don't have relationships with people that I can't be 100% myself. And we shared this before. I could be. Today I can.
Today you can, but back then you couldn't.
In 2019 I couldn't be. You know, and I think we shared this before. Your sexuality is a percentage of who you are. It's not 100% of who you are. So is my sexuality 25% of who I am, 35% of who I am. I could only show up as 75% of myself. Today I show up as 100% of me. So I'm cultivating my authenticity with everybody I meet.
Right. Right. Like I did in the emergency.
Well, and today too. Yeah, at the Abbey.
So, you know,
love me. Bless you.
Right. But you're right. I mean, and that's, you know what, guys, if you're really seriously thinking that I can't come out, there's no way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to just stay the course. And some of you will. Some of you will. Some of you maybe just can't do it. But I think when I started to realize that I then I realized it, and I'm like, oh, I can't change this. I'm not gonna. What's gonna happen? Who's gonna? You know, I mean, real estate, and you know, I know LA, you're cool, but everyone knew me as a married man.
Yes.
And my business was that, and I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen with my business? Well, my girlfriend said, oh honey, it's gonna take off. Now they listen to you about design comments and shit like that. You have more authority. Which I think is true. But I did, guys. I just sitting there and just holding it in, and there's just no way. And so my point is the relief today, just sitting at the bleachers, I didn't give a shit who heard me. Not that I was having an attitude about it, but it was just, you know, all the stars were aligning in our conversation, and it was like, you know, it just came out.
Yes. That's you cultivating your authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
You're sharing who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not blowing the fucking whistle or I'm throwing the flag.
Yes.
It was just in conversation, but it was so, you know, she was so surprised for one, but just so loving as well. It's just this other, you know, mom. That was.
She was like, "You seem too masculine and manly to be gay."
Well, she said that in a way of like, I can't believe it. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's been a lot. A lot of people are like, what? And who was gay? And then they're like, what? My fucking gaydar was way off, John. You know? Oh yeah, like some guys that I knew in real estate. He was like, I had no idea.
No.
And I'm good at detecting.
Well, when I was closeted, my perception, which I've said this before, of a gay man was somebody who had feminine qualities.
Right.
I didn't know that a gay man could be
Right.
you.
Right. Well, no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at all the gay men now. My goodness.
Yes.
They're fit, in shape. You know, I'm waiting for that spider to bite me. Waiting for that gay, hot, muscle bounce.
There you go.
To inject me full of that.
Inject you with his web.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, there's another lady who walks over the block on that stuff. She's like 80 years old. We're in my office and I have these big windows and I can look out at everybody. I see people picking their nose at the stoplight too. It's gross, but you know, yeah, I'm always looking at it. Like right now, I should be in this podcast.
That's all right. That's okay. A little ADD. And then this one, I don't think we read this one. Okay. I had it and I didn't have it marked as read. So
well, let me lay it down for us. Remember to keep comments.
Oh no, that's part of the.
Oh, I see. So, okay, here's from a listener. Wow. Yes, me too. I got to send you an email, but yes, I was married to a woman for 25 years. I am not bisexual. Got married because I thought my gay desires were bad, evil of the devil. We had 2 sons, not grown, and now have 5 grand.
They have 2 sons now grown.
Oh, 2 sons now grown, and now have 5 grands, which means 5 grandkids.
Yes.
Amazing how things turned out. Anyway, I have a story too. Thanks for this. Well, that is sweet.
Yeah. Well, and you and I, closeted gay men, never thought we would be on this side of the table, right? So many of our listeners, closeted gay men, never think they're going to come out, think they're going to be closeted forever.
Yeah.
Here we are on the other side,
right? Once
thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's good. It feels good.
Yeah,
it really does. It feels great.
So I wrote down a couple things. One of the things I wanted to say, other than until Trump kind of took the spotlight today, was Dr. Ruth passed away at 96 years old.
Did she really?
I remember her in the was it in the 80s?
Yeah.
I think it was in the 80s, watching her.
Yeah.
And she died, but she was huge. Pioneer, sex expert. Yeah.
She really
was. She died at 96 today.
And everyone was just so shocked, it coming out of this woman's mouth about what she talked about or going in her mouth. Yeah. But she was. We need to have a little drum set. Our people probably
this thing will do the drum set.
Shut the fuck up, John, with these jokes. I said I'll never shut up. Never.
Don't do it. And then I was going to talk about the 4th of July, because on the 4th of July, Gay Fathers of Los Angeles, I went to one of our friends' houses for the 4th. Oh. And one of the listeners of our podcast that lives in another country far away was flying into LA, and I invited him to go to the 4th of July party. I thought, how cool. This is a listener in another country flying here. He's going to be here on the 4th of July. I invited him. He had jet lag, so he didn't come. In the end, he was like, you know what, I didn't sleep well. Right. But it was a lot of fun.
Where did you go?
I went to Bruce and Pete's house.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So watch the fireworks, a couple of the gay dads there. It was nice, but it was a heterosexual party with gay men.
Oh, there's heteros there too?
Probably more heterosexual people than gay people.
At Bob's house?
No, at Bruce and Pete's house.
Wait, Bruce and Pete? Why? I'm curious.
Because they have their family, their other friends. I still have. I think most of my friends are heterosexual.
Yeah.
You know, my gay community has only been developing over the last couple of years.
Right.
and I've only been part of the Gay Fathers of LA for maybe 3 years.
That's so sweet. You know, they always have. I hear, and I haven't been to one. I'm embarrassed that I haven't, because they're so sweet. They always invite me, and I'm never able to make it. It's not that I don't like them.
You're a busy man.
Well, we had, it was nice. 4th of July, we just hung out and barbecued with our neighbors, and the boys were there. And then, oh my God, this was cool. My roommate from college, when I was when I was a freshman, I played football at Tyler Junior College.
Okay.
And so my roommate for the first semester, he was such a great guy. And he called me and goes, "Hey, we're in town." I goes, "Oh my God, yeah, I'd love to see you." But, he brought his wife, their 2 sons. But he had done this last July. And I went to see him, and we're just talking. And I totally came out to him a year ago. He goes, "What?
Oh, really?"
He goes, "Really?" I go, yeah. I go, we were married. He goes, "Well, yeah," because he asked me, "What happened with the marriage?" I said, "This is what really happened with the marriage." And so it was empowerment. It was freeing to be able to be honest and just lay it out there. And this is the other thing, out of all the ones, and believe me, I'm from Texas, and it was, and maybe it was all in my head, but there's a lot of people against gays in the South, and basically everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yes, it's everywhere.
And I just had to protect myself. And I was able to come out to him, and he was like, "Oh, really? Oh, it was not a thing." And my point of this is that every single person I have come out to, with at least 20 to 25%, I thought were going to just reject it.
Yes.
No one rejected it.
That's the same for me. We are very fortunate. We are not the minority.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we're not the minority.
No, and so it was just...
No, we're not the majority. You and I
don't know,
yes, I don't agree with me. I had to think about that.
But,
yes.
Again, if you're listening out there and you're contemplating to come out, it's not as bad as you really think it is. At least that's what I'm trying to, at least for me. And I thought it was going to be bad. And again, I shared about, coming out to my brother, who was the father figure.
Yes.
And honestly, every single one has given me the support. And then, they came again this year and invited them over. And it was so nice because my roommate from college, and nothing ever went on.
Okay.
And there was no jerk off session. Yeah. But I will tell you this. The ladies called him Foot.
Called him Foot?
Foot.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
and he didn't find you in his bed ever?
No, he jumped into my bed.
Oh, okay.
He was like, he was just like, he was just jumping on me like, "Wake up, Roomy," because he called me Roomy or Room Dog. "Hey, Roomy, Room Dog." And he jumped on me, and then I felt it.
You felt the foot.
It was a foot. So, anyway, he was a great guy, and he came over with his wife and their 2 boys, and then I was there with my 2 boys, and it's just like another generation. Yes. It's really cool. And they never heard of bocce ball. Have you heard of bocce ball?
The little ball that you throw in the sand.
I think it's Italian game.
Yes.
So I had the bocce ball. If you don't know what bocce ball is, there's 8 heavy balls that are like mine. No,
they're wooden.
They're heavy.
Yes.
And they're like lawn bowling, but they're not as big as a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And they're like a little bit bigger than a softball.
Yes.
And they're very heavy.
Yes.
And you have what's called a pea pod, and you throw the little white pea down.
Yeah.
And then you roll yours. There's 2 different colors, and you have two on a team. And so our boys, my sons, were teaching his sons how to play.
Well, from Texas, you're probably pretty good at that because you're used to throwing horseshoes, aren't you?
Yeah. Used to throwing horseshoes. No, it's kind of the concept of horseshoes. Yeah.
And what else? So a couple people reached out to us. They love our banter. So I know that we want to get a guest on here.
Yeah.
I've listened to several other podcasts. I know a lot of times it's a single host, and then every week they have a guest on, and you'll hear a different story every week. But they like the banter that you and I have back and forth, and it will be nice to get a guest on here.
We promise we'll get a guest. In fact, I reached out to my friend Jamie. Jamie.
And he's okay with you using his name?
I'm sure he's going to come on, but I'm not going to use his last name.
Okay.
But if you watch his TikTok videos, he's out there. He is out there, and he's proud. But you know what? I admire Jamie because Jamie, he knew, and I'll get the story for him. But for me, observing this, we grew up in the same neighborhood. He was on the street. One street over from us. So we all were, riding bikes and playing and everything. I just remember him. And but he came out early as a kid. And I mean, you talk about
this isn't your cowboy boot kid.
No.
Right.
No, it's not the cowboy.
The shit kickers.
Yeah.
What do you call those shiny shit kickers? I don't know what they're
Yeah. But no, Jamie that wasn't Jamie. But, Jamie, I haven't talked to him since we were, probably, because I think he went to a private school in junior high. I think we were in elementary together. And I think he was a year behind me. And then he was in,
wow, you're going deep. So anyways, he lives in Southern California.
No, he lives in New York.
He lives in New York.
Yeah.
He's going to be on our show.
You guys know gay Jamie in New York.
Yes. Jamie in New York. I thought he lived here.
No, I mean, I'm telling you,
I thought he's
so talented. He does. They do some skits on YouTube, and I think he was doing some stuff, because his. I don't want to give everything away because I want him to talk about it. He's a hoot. He really is a hoot.
I look forward to getting him on here.
And he's entertaining. He really is. But I just came across him at one time. I go, what? God, I know him from.
You're gay?
Yeah.
You need to be on our podcast.
Well, I did.
You knew he
was see, I reached out to him and I said, newsflash, I'm gay. He didn't freak out or anything. And I go, we're doing this podcast about coming out, and I would love to have you on. He goes, absolutely. Let me know when. So we're excited about having him on as well.
We're excited about having a guest on.
So we're going to have a guest on.
But in the meantime, we'll just go back and forth with each other.
We'll do that. And again, guys, please email us, YouTube, do whatever you do. If you want to hear anything or if you have questions, we'd love to just get some questions from you. If you have any, and then we can talk about it and help you out.
cominginsideout@gmail.com.
Okay.
I have a correction to make. A couple episodes ago, I was asking you a couple different questions, phrases, if you knew, and I think I called it carhead, but then I was corrected. It's called roadhead.
Oh,
and there was the funniest TikTok. I think I sent it to you the other day. Roadhead, this guy's in his pickup truck and his wife jumps in the pickup truck and she said, hey, on your way to your mom's house, we have time for me to give you roadhead. And then the camera pans to the back seat and he said, I already picked up my mom.
That's funny. I love it.
Oh. But we'll get 30 minutes. Yes, that was quick.
Well, thanks for listening to
us. Any questions? Email us again, cominginsideout@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.